Chuck Norris was born on March 10th of 1940 in Ryan, Oklahoma. His father, Ray D. Norris, was in the Army during World War II and worked as a mechanic, bus driver, and truck driver. Norris has said that his childhood was sad because he was not athletic, was shy, and didn't do well in school. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. In this video, we will talk about the story of Chuck Norris. His father Ray worked as an auto mechanic on and off and went on alcohol binges that lasted for months at a time. Embarrassed by his father's behavior and the family's financial situation, Chuck Norris developed crippling introversion that lasted all through his childhood. After this, he married his classmate, Diane Kohlachick, in December of 1958, when he was 18 and she was 17. They met in high school in 1956 in Inglewood, California. Their first child, Mike, was born in 1962. He also had a daughter through an extramarital affair in 1963. Later, he had a second son, Eric, with his wife in 1964. After being married for 30 years, Norris and Holachick got a divorce in 1989. They had split up in 1988, while Norris was filming The Delta Force 2. On November 28 of 1998, he married former model Jenna O'Kelly, who already had 2 children from a previous marriage. On August 30th of 2001, she gave birth to twins. In 1958, Chuck Norris joined the U.S. Air Force as an air policeman and was sent to an air base in South Korea. It was there that he got the nickname Chuck and started training in Tang-Soo-Do, which led to black belts in that art and the creation of the Chung-Kuk-Do form. Chuck Norris started to compete in martial arts tournaments. Norris lost his first 2 tournaments to Joe Louis and Alan Steen, and he lost 3 matches to Tony Tuller at the International Karate Championships. By 1967, he had gotten better enough that he beat Vic Moore on June 3rd at the 1967 Tournament of Karate. Norris beat 7 opponents, fought to a draw with Skipper Mullins, and won the tournament on June 24th. He was named the champion of the Shinri All-American Karate Tournament. He got even with Delgado and won the professional middleweight karate champion title, which he kept for 6 years. In 1969, he defended his title as world champion at the International Karate Championship. He won karate's Triple Crowns for the most tournament wins of the year and the Fighter of the Year award from Black Belt magazine. That same year, he made his acting debut in the Dean Martin movie, The Wrecking Crew. In 1972, he played Bruce Lee's enemy in the martial arts movie, Way of the Dragon, which made it the highest-grossing movie of 1972 in Hong Kong. Way of the Dragon went on to make an estimated $130 million in the US alone. Way of the Dragon is said to have made him a star. Winning Tournament Karate, the practical study of competition training for any rank, was his first book, published in 1975. Norris decided that he wanted to do films that had a story and where the action would happen when it was emotionally right. The low-budget film turned out to be very successful. In 1978, Norris starred in the thriller Good Guys Wear Black, which he considers to be his first significant leadership role. No studio wanted to release it, so Norris and his producers forewalled it, renting the theaters and taking whatever money came in. The film did very well for being shot on a $1 million budget. After a lot of kung fu movies from Hong Kong, like Bruce Lee movies and Bruce Blotton movies, came out in the 1970s, Good Guys Wear Black made Chuck Norris the first successful American martial arts star. Before that, he was best known for being a villain in Bruce Lee's The Way of the Dragon. Good Guys Wear Black was different from other martial arts movies because it was set in America and had American characters, themes, and politics. In 1979, Norris starred in A Force of One, in which he played Matt Logan, a world karate champion who helps the police with their investigation. The film was made while Norris was on tour for Good Guys Wear Black. It made $20 million at the box office, which was more than the previous film. In 1980, Norris released The Octagon, in which his character has to stop a group of ninja-trained terrorists. The next year, he played the lead in the action horror film Silent Rage. It was his first film released by a major studio, Columbia Pictures. In 1983, Norris made Lone Wolf and Cub with Orion Pictures. He played J.J. McQuaid, a reckless Texas Ranger. The film was a worldwide hit and was well received by movie critics, who sometimes compared it to Sergio Leone's stylish spaghetti. The first in a series of power rescue fantasies was about the Vietnam War. It was produced by Menahem Golan and Joram Globus and released under their Canon Films banner. He plays Colonel James Braddock, a U.S. military officer who spent 7 years in a North Vietnamese POW camp and escaped 10 years ago. After the war, Braddock goes to Ho Chi Minh City with a government investigation team to look into reports of U.S. soldiers still being held prisoner. Norris later dedicated these films to his younger brother, who was a private in the 101st Airborne Division and was killed in June of 1970 in Vietnam while on patrol in the defense of Fire Base Ripcord. The film was a huge success, and Norris became Canon's biggest star of the 1980s. In 1989, he got a start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. By 1990, his movies had made more than $500 million worldwide. In 1992, he starred in Sidekick, which was the most successful movie of that year. It's about a boy who lives alone with his widowed father and has vivid daydreams about being Chuck Norris's sidekick and fighting against Norris's movie enemies, who were often like his real-life bullies. In 1993, he started filming the action series Walker, Texas Ranger. It ran for 8 seasons on CBS and continued in syndication on other channels, including the Hallmark Channel. The show was a big hit with viewers, ranking in the top 30 shows from 1995 to 1999, and in the top 20 in both 1995 to 1996 and 1998 to 1999. In 2000, Norris starred in and was an executive producer for the TV movie The President's Man, where he worked with director Michael Prices again. In 2005, Norris started the World Combat League, a full-contact, team-based martial arts competition, with some of the money going to his Kickstart Kids program. The facts are usually ridiculously exaggerated claims about Norris's toughness, attitude, virility, sophistication, and masculinity. After that, Norris started to tour with the Chuck Norris Facts, appearing on major talk shows and even visiting the troops in Iraq to boost morale. In 2008, he published the political non-fiction book Black Belt Patriotism: How to Reawaken America, which reached number 14 on the New York Times bestseller list in September of 2008. The same year, Gameloft released a mobile game, Chuck Norris: Bring on the Pain. The game was made because Chuck Norris was so popular on the internet. In the game, the player controls Chuck Norris himself in a side-scrolling beat-em-up. The game got good reviews. The movie was a success and made over $310 million around the world. In 2017, Flare Games released Nonstop Chuck Norris, an isometric action role-playing game for mobile devices. It is the second game based on his popularity to be made by Chuck Norris Facts. The game got good reviews. Chuck Norris has won many awards, and his life seems happy on the outside, but it isn't. From a young age, he didn't have his father's compassion, and at the time, his father was addicted to alcohol. Each of us born into this world has our own purpose, and we learn to hide our emotions. This is not wrong, but it won't work forever. Life will be really deep when we choose something as our passion. Everyone in this world is healthy and always laughs. If I could make one wish, it would be for there to be no lonely people. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share and press the bell icon for more regular updates.